So today we're going to do a very simple recipe, and this is going to be a bourbon glazed shrimp. You can really tweak this recipe to whatever you like, and you can also serve it over whatever you want. We're just going to serve it over some white rice here, but you could serve it as an appetizer, just the shrimp themselves. The shrimp we're using are just peeled deveined shrimp. I like the 21-25 size. You can go larger, you could go smaller, it doesn't really matter. Gonna run through these real quick and then we'll just dive in. You need some bourbon. Use the bourbon you like, not super expensive. This is like $30, totally fine. We need some lemon. We're gonna use the zest and the juice. Other big part of it is brown sugar. So you can use light, dark. I'm gonna use some dark brown sugar, but that's an important part of this recipe. I like to add a little bit of honey in. That'll give it a little bit of sweetness, but you do not need to add that in. Some Worcestershire sauce. Salt, pepper, very important. A little bit of apple cider vinegar. And we're going to use 1 clove of garlic. We don't want it to be overpoweringly garlic, but you could use more if you'd like. And then the longest part of this is going to be the rice. So I'm going to start the rice now. It's going to take 30 or 40 minutes. Once that's done, we'll cook the shrimp and the glaze basically at the same time, and combine those will take about 10 minutes. So if you're just making this as an appetizer, this can come together in less than 15 minutes. So let's get the rest of this started. First thing we need to do is wash our rice. Some people don't like to do that, but I do. If you don't, that's totally fine. But just add a little bit of water, rinse it until it doesn't look as murky and cloudy as that. I like to get it to that point right there. And once it's nice and clear, I'm just going to empty that out and then fill this back up to the mark my Instant Pot or rice cooker shows. Inside it's labeled 1 there, so I just fill that up for that 1 cup, and we are good to go. Throw that in the rice cooker. I'm also going to now thaw the frozen shrimp. If you have fresh shrimp, also great, but I like to just pour them right into a strainer and then run them under cold water for 10-15 minutes, and that is all you need to do. Here you can see they are perfectly thawed. I'm going to hit them with a little bit of salt, toss them around, hit them with a little more salt, and then let them sit until we're ready to start cooking. They'll just take in that salty flavor. If you want to add a little pepper, that's also fine. My rice is just about 1 or 2 minutes away from being done, so we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of bourbon and 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar to the pan off heat. That way you don't flambe everything accidentally here. And we're just going to mix that together until that brown sugar fully dissolves. And now we can add in the rest of the ingredients. We're going to add in 1 clove of garlic that I ran through a microplane to get it real fine, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. We're going to add in half a lemon. You don't need to do this at this stage, but you can if you want. I'm going to add a good glug, probably a tablespoon worth of Worcestershire sauce, and then 2 good squeezes here of honey. Just kind of eyeball it however sweet you want it. You might take a few times making it to determine how sweet you want it, but now just mix that together, hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper, and we're going to let this kind of reduce on low to medium heat while we start to cook the shrimp. Have my hex clad here, gonna add a little bit of olive oil to it, probably 2 tablespoons worth, and then get all of my shrimp in there. This is probably about 30 shrimp. Really covered it. Space it out. If you need to turn that heat up because the shrimp are going to drop the temperature, go ahead. And then just kind of flip these as you see they need to be cooked. You all know how to cook shrimp, but just cook these for about a minute or 2 on each side. Give them a nice little mix up at this point so you get a little bit of color. I want them slightly undercooked at this stage because we're going to add the glaze right in. You can see it's really starting to thicken up, but we're going to let the rest of that thicken up in this pan with the shrimp. So just pour it directly over them. And now for about a minute or 2, we're going to turn the heat up and we're going to let this really thicken up. I'm going to add in a little bit of that lemon zest, so that lemon flavor and those lemon pieces could kind of candy in here and become real syrupy and nice. A little more salt, and let this cook for about 1 or 2 more minutes. Now to start plating it, I'm just going to add some rice into a bowl and then put that shrimp right over the rice. The rice is the perfect medium here to catch that sauce, and it'll really be a great flavor after you eat your shrimp. But going to top it with a little more of this beautiful glaze. You can see how it's thickened up real nice. It's like a pan sauce or a demi-glace. That's the consistency you're looking for. You can see it has real body to it. If yours is looser than that, just pull the shrimp out and run just the sauce on high heat for another minute, and it'll be nice and thick. Then I'm just going to top it with a little bit of scallion, a little bit of lemon zest, and you're ready to go and dive into this. All right, so here we are, finished product. As you can see, I just threw a little bit of lemon zest, a little green onion on top of it. You can go even a little more if you want, but that's all we're looking for here. They're beautifully glazed, as you can see by that sauce. Look at that glaze on it. You got a little bit of that garlic, the candied kind of lemon at this point because it's cooked in sugar. It's just really good. There's so much depth of flavor. Doesn't taste like alcohol, even though that's primarily what you used. It's just really light, refreshing. It's obviously somewhat healthy because it's basically all protein and a little bit of carb for you. There's really no dairy or anything in this, so it's a pretty healthy weeknight dish, and it comes together real quick aside from the rice. So give this a try. Let me know what you guys think. And I think this, if you like shrimp or any sort of fish, this would work on like a salmon too. This is one hell of a dish. So give this a try. Let me know what you guys think.